There are some 50 or 60 pairs of osprey in the park, and this is one of them. Here we have some mule deer. This is the way you expect to find the American bison, or buffalo if you prefer, a long distance away. They're a 3,000-pound animal and they can be quite dangerous. But the park has something around 4,000 of these things. And so the fact of the matter is, seeing them from a long way away is not the only way that you see those buffalo. Bison usually go into the rut in about August, and they're quite dangerous at that time. They're willing to butt heads with just about anything, including people. Bison were, of course, nearly on the brink of extinction not too many years ago. The fact of the matter is that Yellowstone was the repository for virtually the last remaining wild American bison. There were only a few left, but that few has grown into a fairly good size herd, as you can see. Apparently a major pastime for buffalo is rolling in the dust. I assume that helps to keep down parasites. Predators are usually difficult to see at the park, but we caught this coyote. Well, like the buffalo, the elk at this time of the year were starting to come into the rut. And so the males were out trying to gather up their girls as best as they could, practicing their bugling, and of course there was a certain amount of headbutting involved in this too. Elk stand about 6 feet tall at the shoulders, and they weigh about 1,000 pounds. They were named after what we would refer to as moose, the kind of animal that they had in Europe. But when the Europeans saw the elk, they had no idea what to call it, so they called it an elk after what we would have called a moose in Europe. As a result of the confusion, some people are resorting to the Indian word for elk, wapiti. Here's some half-hearted jousting, actually in town by a couple of young males. I think that they're just learning the ropes on how to go about doing this sort of thing. I think that as a result of the park rules, some of the animals have developed a rather disrespectful attitude towards people. The animals have the right-of-way everywhere, including on all the major highways, and they know it.
Well, I think they're pretty confident as long as the vehicles are not really particularly large. Come over.
The park's traffic laws have a maximum speed limit of 45 miles an hour, but despite that, and that assumes that you can go 45 miles an hour with the traffic conditions, but despite that, they say that they lose about 100 animals a year to traffic accidents. Sometimes traffic conditions were simply miserable.
That's pretty good.
Take care of those babies.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they put them in the middle. We've got older ones in front and older ones in the back. And there's somebody butting one of the little ones in the romp and saying, move along.
One morning when I got up before dawn, I got out of the cabin and I saw on the ridge above the cabin an elk bugling away. It was wonderful.